Hello, thanks for joining me. Now then, you've got £70 to spend on your Triumph Bonneville. That's all you've got, £70, and you're going to make one change to improve the performance somehow. What are you going to spend your money on? The general consensus seems to be progressive front fork springs. So let's give it a whirl. Hello, so welcome on board. So you can imagine what we're doing now. We're going for a little test ride. Now I've got to keep an eye on these clouds because we've got thunderstorms this afternoon apparently. They haven't hit yet, but no doubt they're on the way. But I couldn't resist it. I thought, while obviously, you know, we want to try them out, don't we? So here we are. So I've done it just a couple of miles. And well, is it worth it? Now it's difficult, isn't it? Because sometimes when you spend money, you want it to be worth it. Incidentally, on the money front, they were £70 from Tech. These are the Tech version of the progressive fork springs, plus postage, which was, I think, another £5 or something like that. And to be honest with you, the first set of springs they sent me were wrong. They were too short, far too short. And so I had to send them back. So I did send them back with an email and all that sort of stuff. And once they'd received them back, they said, yeah, it's our mistake, we have sent you the wrong ones, and do you want a refund or do you want the longer springs? I said, well, I want the longer springs, and they arrived pretty much the next day. So, you know, we can all make mistakes, that can happen, and it did happen in this instance. They sent me the wrong ones, but they've corrected it, and the right ones are in now. Now, the first thing that I notice about these springs is I noticed that when it was on the standard springs, even when I first had the bike, whenever I went over even a relatively small pothole, there was a clunk. It was like the suspension hit, and then there was a clunk. And when it went in to have my side stand fitted, I mentioned this to him. I said, can you just check the forks for me? Because there's a clunk. And they told me, this is the Triumph main dealer, that they had checked the forks out and there was no issue with them. They actually said that because it's a floating disc, maybe the clunk you're hearing is the disc. Now, some of you more knowledgeable people will know about that and perhaps advise me. But if I've got floating discs, will there be a clunk? Because that's what they said it was down to. But what I have noticed since these springs have gone in straight away, oh no, here comes the rain, it's starting to spit and spot on me a little bit, I knew it would. But what I noticed was the clunk has, I won't say it's disappeared, in fact, yeah, it's still there, it's still slightly there, but it's not as pronounced, it doesn't seem to be as bad, and I'm not quite sure why that should be. But the clunk, my initial thought is the clunk is less than it was. I won't say it's completely disappeared, but I'm still not convinced really that it's the disc. It's the floating caliper. Now, it's still early days as to, it does feel different. You know, even when the very first time I knocked it off the stand in the garage, the very first time I knocked it off the stand in the garage, it was less of a clunk. It was, you'd probably say, well, it will be, because you've got progressive fork springs in now. It just seemed better knocking it off the stand. And I think I can feel a difference, and I'm literally 2 or 3, 4 miles into the ride now. I'm pretty sure I can feel a difference, but me being a peanut brain, it's hard for me to put into words. But can I feel a difference? Yes. Does it feel smoother? I think it does. Does it seem to ride better? I think it does. So, I mean, for those who've advised me to get them, this will come as no surprise. Other people have said to them, you know, even on interceptors and things like that, they make a difference. But, yeah, it seems to be riding a bit better, a bit smoother, not so much of a clunk. And maybe that's all I can expect. I mean, what am I expecting? You know, a magic carpet ride? I'm not going to get that, am I? On a Bonneville, on our pothole-ridden roads. So, was it a worthwhile exercise? I think already I've answered me. I think yes, it is. Yes, it is. And moving forward, I suspect as I get more used to it, it'll get better and better. So, yeah, I'm pleased with this. I'm glad I've taken the advice of the people who have left comments. You know, Stuart Fillingham, looking back at one of his videos on his Triumph, he did one. He did a full sort of tutorial how to change them, and he said he finished. This was a few years ago, and he said if you've only got £60, it was £60 at that time, to spend on your bike, and you want to make a real worthwhile improvement, change these springs. And you know, I think he could be right. I think he's probably bob on. It feels a bit more planted, the front end does, and yet a little bit, what am I looking for? Not as jarry. Okay, so unfortunately, in true time-honoured tradition, part of the recording when I was out on the road didn't come out, but I'm back home now. It is throwing it down with rain, so I thought I'd end it here. I've only positive things to say about the fork springs that have gone in. They're really, really good. It was only a short ride, but there seems to be less clunking. Now, whether it's still the brake that's clunking, but because the suspension's working better, it doesn't clunk quite so much, I've got no idea. But even on minor undulations on the road, it seems to smooth them out. To be honest, I haven't hit any major potholes, but I don't think anything will do anything much about them. So hopefully I'm not going to hit any either. But very positive, and I can only agree and thank all the people that they've said in the comments, do the front fork springs, it's really worthwhile. I would completely agree with that, and I would recommend anybody to do it. You saw on the video how quick it is to do. It really is that simple. Get the front wheel off the ground, take the caps off, take the springs out, replace them, bing bang bosh. Very easy to do and a noticeable improvement. So I've only got good things to say, so thank you once again to all those people that suggested it. Now, what I've got coming up now is I did find a few photographs that should have gone on some time ago, to be honest. People sent them me, and somehow they got overlooked. So I can only apologise for that, but I'll redress that now. So I did get a bit of footage on the A50, on what we call the bypass. So what I'm going to do now is I'll put a few of those photographs on for those people that are interested in them. So, progressive front fork springs, big thumbs up from me. Thanks to people who've recommended them. And all I've got to say now is thanks for watching. Hope you've gained something out of this little video. Ride safe. Make sure you watch out for the potholes and the lunatic drivers. And I'll see you on the next one. Stay tuned for the photographs. Bye.